Hey guys, Carell Cooper here with On the Black with a special guest tonight. I'm with Anthony of Mets Public Record. Hey Anthony, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Carol? Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. I mean, you've had me on your podcast many of times, so I'm kind of happy to finally get you on my show. So for the viewers out there, why don't you just give a few words about yourself and Mets Public Record?
Well, I mean, I've been a Met fan since the mid '80s. Always loved watching the Mets. And a couple of years back, 2008, I thought about writing down some of my opinions. And nowadays with technology, you could just start your own blog. And I started with WordPress, and then I moved on to Google Blogger. So I have a Mets Public Record .blogsport.com. But more importantly, I do like a talk show on Blog Talk Radio called Mets Public Record. Carol, like you said, he's been on a couple of times, and we talk about an hour about the Mets, and I have other people on the show too. But like every Met fan, I have an opinion, so I felt that I wanted to voice my opinion with the Mets.
There you go. So, well, I'm going to give you a chance to voice your opinion now on sort of the hot topic of the week, and that is, the Mets coming out and ownership saying that they're looking to sell off a minority stake in the team and are looking for investors. Interesting, they want someone that's, a sort of like a quiet investor, I guess, if you could say. So, as a Mets fan, give me your thoughts on the recent news about the Mets looking to sell part of the team.
Well, I think at first, the biggest dilemma hitting Met fans was where Carlos Beltran was going to play, either center field or left field. But now we have this kind of got thrown into the works here with this lawsuit. I think the Mets ownership underestimated the magnitude of the lawsuit. I mean, I'm hearing numbers of $1 billion that Sterling Equities is going to be liable to pay some of the prosecutors for the Madoff people who lost in the Madoff Ponzi scheme. The Wilpons were considered net winners, and what I'm getting at here is that there's a lot of contradiction of dialogue. Initially, we thought that the Mets were a strong franchise with a lot of liquidity, and now we're starting to see this air of uncertainty around their financials where they have to bring in a minority stake. But the one thing which I think won't be appealing to a minority owner is that they won't have the benefits of SNY, the cable network. Carol, I think if I'm an owner, I would want to have some of that revenue.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, it looks like they're just kind of looking for a quiet investor, and that'll probably make it a little bit more difficult for them to figure that piece out. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens in the long run, but yeah, I mean they're looking for someone, but they're kind of trying to put that person in a box. It's almost like, hey, give me your money and shut up. But we'll see. Moving on, and getting away from some of that off the field stuff. We've got spring training right around the corner. I did a video last week, and I said, one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most out of spring training is the battle for the fifth spot in the rotation. Guys like Capuano and Dylan G battling for that spot. From your perspective, with spring training coming up, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm excited. I mean, let me tell you, I was very skeptical about 2 months ago, and then when I saw Sandy Alderson brought in Capuano, he brought in Chris Young, and these are interesting stories for Mets fans. I would love to see this all come to fruition. That would be such a great story to see a guy like Chris Young become a 15, 16 game winner, really help the club. But the most important thing, I'm looking for a Met player who's going to take over for Yoan Santana. We don't really know when he's going to be back. We need a guy who's going to be like a warrior-like mentality that Santana brought every fifth day, and I think that's really important for the Mets. They have to find that guy who's going to step it up. Maybe an R.A. Dickey, maybe a Jason Bay, a David Wright in the wings. But that's most important. Who's going to step it up for the Mets? Who's going to bring that energy, intensity every game?
Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, they definitely got a lot of talented guys on this roster, but sort of that leader, that bulldog, whether it be at the front end of the rotation or one of the regular guys in the field every day, you're right. I guess that there is a question mark around that. Well, Anthony, I want to thank you for coming on the show today, and for those of you out there, please go check Anthony and the rest of the gang out at Mets Public Record. They do an excellent job with their podcast. Anthony, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Carl.
Alrighty.